Welcome to the Eczema Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Julia Chen. I'm here to help you heal your eczema naturally so you can finally live your best damn life. Many years ago in my own eczema healing journey, I was stuck and confused on how to heal my skin. Fast forward to today, after many lessons learned and lots of trial and error, I'm now living my best life and traveling the world with clearer skin. If you're an eczema or TSW warrior who desires a life of food freedom and is wanting to heal your skin without steroids while using mindset and manifestation as a tool, you're in the right place. Now let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of the Eczema Warrior podcast. I am so excited today because we have been doing a birthday sale. So as you may know from previous years, if you've been following me for a while, is that every year I do a birthday sale. And every year it's always been so good. I always sell out my group coaching and my one-on-one coaching spots. And this year we launched a birthday sale for my 31st birthday. And actually at the time when this podcast is being released, it is the last day to apply for coaching and book a call and receive up to $300 off of group coaching and one-on-one coaching. And also on top of that, you get an extra month of support inside my group coaching container. Usually it's 6 months. You get a total of 7 months for this birthday sale. Not only this, you also get 31% off my entire site. All of my courses and all of my guides are on sale. So if you are looking for something more self-paced, maybe coaching, you're not ready for the investment yet or whatever it is, you can go onto my website and sign up for my self-paced courses. I have from Flaring to Thriving, Nourished Eczema as my 2 courses you can purchase. And then I also have Get Rid of Eczema guide and a journaling guide as well. And they're all on for sale for 31% up until February 20th, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. PST. So if you haven't applied or booked a call yet for my coaching, then highly recommended to do it ASAP before the clock strikes at midnight, because after that, the sale and also the bonus 1-month support will no longer be applicable. And so you can pick a time to have a call with me anytime this week, as long as you fill in the application. And you can go to the application in the show notes below for group coaching and for one-on-one coaching. And I'll also leave the links for my courses and guides as well. Besides Black Friday, my birthday is the only other time where I give a bunch of promos as well as bonuses. So if you've been wanting to work with me, if you resonate with everything I share on this podcast, all of my tips, and you want help with your root causes, your diet, your supplements in a non-restrictive and wholesome way, and also using mindset and manifestation to help you heal your skin faster, and maybe you've been feeling stuck with what to do when it comes to that, then Clear Eczema is for you. Clear Eczema is for you if you're someone who wants the strategy and the step-by-step to healing your skin naturally without steroids, without restrictive dieting, without having to do it all. I really focus on the less is more concept when it comes to healing eczema, and a lot of my clients have seen results following this concept and pairing that with the mindset component. And so if you feel like this is what you need for 2024 and you want to heal your skin, get the support and accountability inside our intimate 6-month container, then I encourage you to apply in the show notes below. Okay, without further ado, let's get into today's episode, which is all about the most common Candida symptoms. In particular, I want to talk about how this exactly applies to your eczema and what to look out for and identify for yourself. So I've released actually another episode on this on my podcast. It's actually episode 23, where I talk about if you should be on a Candida diet or not. So I would actually listen to the episode and pair it with this one, and that's going to help you a lot in knowing what to do when it comes to your Candida. So what is Candida? Candida is basically yeast overgrowth that happens with people with eczema. It's very common. Everyone has Candida in their body, in their gut, and on their skin. However, when Candida overgrows, this is when it becomes a concern. And a lot of my clients actually have Candida as a common root cause. I would say maybe 70% of my clients have Candida as their root cause. And the top Candida symptoms you want to look out for, there is quite a lot of symptoms that are pretty common with this condition. However, there are certain few where I really look for when I'm assessing my clients. The first one is cravings. If you have cravings for sugar, for bread, for refined carbohydrates, alcohol, pastries, desserts, all of that, and you would rate your cravings moderate to severe, meaning that most days of the week you have these cravings and you really need to have that chocolate bar, you really need to have something sweet after dinner. I usually ask my clients out of 10 how severe their cravings are. And if it's above a 7, I would say, yeah, you definitely have some kind of Candida overgrowth in you. And the reason is because Candida loves sugar. It thrives on sugar. It needs sugar to survive. And so when you have these cravings, it's not just like mental where you like have this craving because you're used to eating sugar, but it's also the yeast craving it as well. So when you have gut dysbiosis or yeast overgrowth or Candida, which is a form of gut dysbiosis, you'll have more yeast growing in your gut. And when you have more yeast growing in your gut, then you're naturally going to crave for that sugar because the yeast needs a sugar to survive. And here and there, it's normal for us to crave sugar. However, it's all about the intensity, the severity, and how often. So that's number one. If you have cravings that are moderate to severe, that is a Candida symptom. Other symptoms include history of antibiotic use. So if you have been on multiple rounds of antibiotics, I would say in the past year or two, that could definitely impact your gut microbiome and it'll cause more of the bad bacteria to grow more than the good bacteria, especially if you haven't done the work to heal your gut after taking antibiotics, then it can be a symptom of Candida overgrowth if you've had a history of antibiotics. Even if you think about your health growing up as a child, if you've used multiple rounds of antibiotics for whatever reason, and you don't recall working on healing your gut through supplements and diet, then that can also be an indication that dysbiosis and Candida could be common for you. Another symptom to look out for is if you have yeast infections. That's a telltale sign. If you get yeast infections, the name kind of explains itself. It's yeast overgrowth and it's showing up not only in your gut, but it's also showing in the vaginal area. So if you get that, that is also a sign of Candida. Also, history of urinary tract infections. That's also something to look out for. And both of these, history of UTIs and yeast infections, I would say more in the recent years, in the last 1 or 2 years. However, if you used to have them reoccurring throughout your life, then I would also use that as an assessment to determine if my clients have Candida overgrowth as well. Especially since when we're younger, when we have these problems, UTIs, yeast infections, antibiotics, working on healing the gut like 10 years ago wasn't a big of a thing compared to now. So a lot of us may have had these problems and had these infections without actually repopulating the gut or healing the gut afterwards. So it makes a lot of sense if you're developing eczema or symptoms now, especially if you've had this kind of history. Okay, the other symptoms that I would look out for Candida are vaginal itching, which is very similar to yeast infections. If you have yeast infections, typically doesn't feel very pleasant down there. You might experience vaginal itching, rashes in sweaty areas. So if you get eczema under your armpits, under your bra, in between the thighs, anywhere that you really sweat, that is also an indication that you may have Candida as well. Another general symptom that people have when they have Candida is brain fog. So that general feeling of you can't think straight, your brain is foggy, your mind is foggy. That can also be an indication of Candida. And then fatigue is common, also gas and bloating. But those symptoms are more general and it could be like from lack of sleep or it could be from eating something that your body doesn't enjoy. So you get bloated or gassy. So that one is a little bit more difficult to determine. However, when you combine all of these symptoms together, if you notice that you have at least 3 or more of these symptoms, then usually that's a pretty good indication that you have Candida. Of course, you can always get a Candida test if you want to determine if you have Candida or not. I don't actually do that in my practice because I actually find doing an assessment on my clients works pretty well. So once you find out if you possibly have Candida, then the next step obviously is to figure out how to heal it. So in my episode 23, I talk about how just going on a diet actually doesn't actually heal your eczema. I would listen to the episode if you want to learn more about why that's the case. But the key to healing Candida naturally is finding out what actually caused the Candida in the first place. Is it because you took antibiotics a lot over the past few years? It really damaged your gut lining. It really impacted your gut microbiome. So now you need to really heal the gut in order to heal Candida. Or is it because you have chronic stress? That's also another common root cause for Candida is you've had chronic stress all of your life. Candida loves stress. And so if you haven't managed your stress lately, then we want to make sure we address that root cause in order for your Candida to heal. This is why going on a diet to heal your Candida is not always going to work, especially if the cause is not the diet and it's the stress. So when we want to heal Candida, we do want to use diet, though. I'm not saying diet's not important. It's still important to eat balanced meals. It's important to avoid refined sugar as much as possible, but you don't have to be too strict, especially if you don't get symptoms when you eat certain foods. But the key to healing Candida is really taking the right supplements. Supplements is what helps to kill off the yeast. Diet is what helps to control the yeast from overgrowing. So that's the key. You can control the Candida to an extent with diet, but it doesn't actually remove the Candida from your body. And we want to use supplements for that. For example, certain antifungals are helpful for Candida. My favorite is usually a blend of antifungals. However, if you read the label and there's a natural antifungal you're looking for, some ingredients that could be helpful are garlic, oregano oil, grapefruit seed extract, and pau d'arco, as well as black walnut. But again, if you're choosing supplements to address your Candida or any of your root causes, please make sure you check with a practitioner to help you select the right ones. So another question that I get when it comes to healing Candida is how long does it take to heal from it? Now, this is a loaded question, but I'm going to try and answer it. So when it comes to healing Candida, just like when it comes to healing eczema, it depends on the severity and the history. If you had a lot of those symptoms that I listed and it's been around for a few years, then it's going to take longer for your Candida to heal because the longer you have something going on, the more difficult it is to heal. So making sure that you have a good protocol with the right diet, the right supplements, finding the root cause of where your Candida came from, it's really going to help you determine what to do. And it can also tell us how long it takes for your Candida to heal. I have clients who are able to heal their Candida in a month. I have other clients that take up to a year, right? So it really depends on your body. It depends on the severity, like I said, your overall history, your overall health. And it also depends on the consistency as well. If you're able to stay consistent with your protocol, given that it's sustainable and it's non-restrictive, then the easier it is for you to heal your Candida. So that's what I have for today's episode on the most common Candida symptoms, as well as how to heal it and how long it takes to heal Candida. If you found this episode helpful, please leave us a review and rating on Apple iTunes or Spotify. It's really going to help us a lot in growing the podcast. And if you're looking for support with healing your Candida, healing your root causes, finding your root causes, and just overall having this step-by-step to managing your eczema through diet, through supplements, a lot of clarity, mindset, and manifestation, then this is what Clear Eczema and my coaching is all about. And again, we're doing a birthday sale right now that is ending on February 20th at 11:59 p.m. PST. So you have to book a call and apply before then. So make sure you apply and book a call for any of the time slots this week and receive the discounts as well as the extra 1 month off. And of course, the 31% off everything else, my courses and my guides. I'm so excited to work with you guys to review your applications, and we will see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Now, before I let you go, I want to let you know I have this amazing eczema visualization. This visualization has helped me so much when it comes to manifesting eczema healing flares faster than I can ever imagine, reducing the itch, and just feeling great in my body. This is the exact same visualization I use for my own healing as well as my clients' healing as well. And if you want to receive this visualization, then all you have to do is leave us a review and tell us what you think about the podcast, screenshot it, send it to your email at hello@juliachin.ca, and you will receive the visualization to your inbox. I look forward to seeing your review, and we will see you in the next episode.